This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masters of the Universe from the 2026 movie Roboto, the Heroic Mechanical Warrior. And it's kind of interesting because at the top of here, the artwork does show like Skeletor's drones. And I don't think we saw those at all in the movie, which is a shame because those would have been kind of cool. Probably would have made more sense than his troops did, to be perfectly honest with you. On a weird, totally unrelated side note, I'm looking over at my shelf and apparently the heat wave right now, Man-at-Arm's hand has twisted so that his mace is lying sideways behind Tila's butt. I'll try to take a picture of that. Anyway, on the side we have a headshot. On the other side we see some of Skeletor's warriors. And on the back, we see some artwork. And of course, this, by the way, was from Walmart. So obviously, they had to damage the box as much as possible before sending it. And it actually has artwork and not just photos. So it would have been nice to have a good copy of this. But apparently, I missed out on the original order and just kind of found this by luck. So anyway, Roboto, the Heroic Mechanical Warrior. Roboto has another shot at adventure when Prince Adam returns to Eternia with the Power Sword. Roboto is equipped and ready for battle. I have no idea what those two things are supposed to be on that they're playing with there. Plug-in cannons for epic defensive action. Okay, I guess technically when we saw Roboto in the movie, it was more or less used as defending the walkway to Castle Grayskull, whatever. But it's an offensive weapon, not a defensive weapon. I'm just going to tell you now. So let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? It would have been nice if they'd given us something more interesting to the background. Okay, so first things first. We have the parts list of stuff that comes off. Apparently the head, and I'm guessing it's supposed to be the harness in the back there. The arms, the hands. Huh. Yeah, I did not notice that the hand was designed like that. That's kind of interesting and kind of stupid at the same time. And then we have our regular hand over here. Real quick, let's take a look. Oh my god. Why is it just a headshot on the card? Seriously, what the f***, Mattel? Then on the back, we see Castle Grayskull. Roboto, the Heroic Mechanical Warrior. Roboto thought her battling days were over, but the Heroic Mechanical Warrior has another shot at adventure when Prince Adam returns to Eternia with the Power Sword. Roboto's epic skills are unleashed, blasting through Skeletor's evil forces. Spoiler alert. No, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, let's take a look at this beefy boy, beefy girl, whatever. So first and foremost, so this part comes off. I'm not sure if, there we go. We can take the clear plastic part off. And we can get a good look at the details here on the body. They show a lot of the gears and stuff, but nothing here spins on its own. On the back, you got a spinal column and everything here. So they did put a lot of detail work in the torso. Which, of course, like origin stuff pops off. But that feels really loose. So let's go ahead and reform Roboto. I don't remember the name of the actress who voiced Roboto offhand either. I know I remember thinking it was a surprising voice cast thing. There we go. The one thing I will say is I was not really a big fan of the design of Roboto's head in this movie. All right, so we got two different shoulder cannons. Which should plug in up the top here. There we go. Although they were facing the wrong way in the package. Or on the wrong sides, I should say. I'll raise this up a little bit more. Rather cut off the feet than the head on this thing. Alright, so then this is the one blaster that we got. Definitely looks like it's designed to work with either hand, and it does have articulation too, which makes almost no sense whatsoever considering that how flat that is. I'm sure it's going to line right up with whatever we hook it up to. So let's pull the weird hand off. Put this thing in place. So we got the little cannon in there. And that'll give us an opportunity to take a better look at this hand. So I guess these two things are the same length, but they're in different positions. And then this is longer than this one. And I am 100... Oh, let me get rid of that. So take a look at this. Okay. Kind of spinning it around here. The lack of cemetery? Oh, seminary? No. It's not symmetrical. It's not symmetrical, and that bothers me a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. It really bothers me on this. I will probably not use this hand at all for that reason. It just bothers me. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Roboto's articulation. The head can move up and down and spin side to side. We are not going to get a 360 on this design unless we take off all this armor, but that is unnecessary. Honestly, I kind of feel this is unnecessary also, but that wasn't my decision. So the arms can hinge up about that far and then back down, and we can pop off the arm when we try to spin it around. There's interesting detailing in here, though. I don't know if that's supposed to be detailing or supposed to like help hold it in place. Okay, let's try that again. Spin it around. Didn't pop out that time. Single joint at the elbow here. Does less than 90. The gun hand can spin, so could this one. They both have articulation on them, but they're designed to be flush with the arm or the wrist, so they don't move. The articulation is pointless. The other hand, however, does spin around and has in and out articulation. We can spin at the waist, and this is what I was talking about, though. This is very loose on this figure, my copy. We can kick the leg forward about this far. Although it's another one of those figures where it kind of feels like you might break it. And she can only spread her legs about this far because of the design of the thighs here. Then we have a very weak feeling knee joint that only bends, what is that, about 70 degrees maybe? We can spin at the, we can spin at the boot. Of course, depending on how far you spin it, it messes with all that. The leg has a hinge for up and down, and we can spin that around. Although, again, with the design of this, well, we could get 360 out of it. Domo arigato, Miss Roboto. This thing, like, is very heavy, and she does not have very good joints on her. Again, I don't know if that's a ongoing issue or if this is just a my figure problem, but the joints are so weak and it's so hard to get her to pose. Yeah, seriously, the joints are so weak on this thing. It took me like 3 minutes just to get into a pose where she wasn't going to fall down. And even then, I am not very convinced that she won't fall during this part of the review. That being said, I overall do like the look of this. It matches up with the movie pretty well. I think they should have just gone with the original solid armor and had it come off, or give us both the solid color and the clear plastic armor, so we could go either or if we wanted to. But like, there's too much coming out of that chest piece, right? Like, it goes out way too far considering the amount of stuff that it's covering. Like, it looks like there's a good half-inch of space between the front of the chest armor and the chest itself. Also, it is disappointing that they didn't find a way to make the gears move, but I'm not too surprised. Like, Hasbro, Mattel is cheaping out on stuff left and right also. But this is a 100% new figure. I don't think there's going to be any part use with this to anything else anytime soon. So it's a one and done kind of a deal, unless they do release a second version with a solid colored chest plate. But I actually did like Roboto in the movie. I just don't like the head design. So I was pretty excited when I was able to get this one for the Origins collection style figures. I don't know if they're planning on releasing a Roboto in the Chronicles anytime soon, but I guess if they did, that would be their first Deluxe Chronicles figure. But yeah, this figure is very heavy, probably as heavy as the 2000X Roboto was, to be honest with you, or really close to that at any rate. But overall, I do like this figure. I just wish the joints weren't so loose. And you know what? It's kind of improper to talk about how loose a woman is, right? But anyway, what do you guys think of this figure below? Why don't you tell me in the comments below what you think of this figure? And if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to crush that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Perhaps you'd want to launch a missile at that notification bell. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Oh yeah, something else to note real quick at the end here. It looks like all the artwork is actually showing Roboto with the solid color chest piece and not the clear version.